Have you ever questioned why people behave the way they do? This inquiry lies at the heart of psychology, a captivating field that delves into the complexities of the human mind. It's a realm where thoughts, emotions, and actions intertwine, influencing the way we interact with others and our environment. But why should you care about psychology? Think of it as your secret weapon. By understanding the mechanics of human behavior, you can navigate social situations more effectively, foster healthier relationships, and even influence others subtly. Today, we're going to delve a little deeper into this intriguing world. We'll explore some psychological tricks, not to manipulate but to understand better and interact more meaningfully with those around us. These are tried and tested methods that have stood the test of time, revealing surprising insights about our shared human nature. Dive into the world of psychology with us as we uncover 7 psychological tricks that work every single time. Remembering and using someone's name can be more powerful than you think. This isn't just about politeness or good social etiquette, it's a psychological phenomenon that has powerful implications. When you address someone by their name, you're not just recognizing their identity, you're also acknowledging their individuality and uniqueness. This simple act can foster a sense of familiarity, making the person feel seen and understood. Moreover, it's a subtle way of building trust. When someone hears their name, it signals that they're important to you, that you value their presence. It creates a connection, a bridge between two minds. It may seem like a small thing, but it can have a profound effect on how someone perceives you, how they relate to you, and how they respond to you. So next time you meet someone, make sure to remember their name. It might just make all the difference. Did you know asking for a favor can make someone like you more? This is the crux of what's known as the Benjamin Franklin effect. Named after the iconic American polymath who observed this phenomenon, it's a psychological trick that has fascinated experts for centuries. Here's how it works. When you ask someone to do you a favor, they unconsciously justify their actions by convincing themselves that they must like you enough to help. This cognitive dissonance, the tension between their actions and beliefs, pushes them to alter their perception of you in a more positive light. Interestingly, this effect is even more potent if the favor is small and easy to fulfill. The person feels good about helping you and simultaneously strengthens their positive feelings towards you without feeling manipulated or coerced. So, next time you find yourself wanting to win someone over, don't be afraid to ask for a small favor. Remember, a small favor can go a long way in winning someone over. Silence can be a powerful tool in conversation. Now that might seem counterintuitive. After all, aren't conversations about speaking, about exchanging words and ideas? Well, yes, but silence can sometimes communicate more than words ever could. Silence, you see, creates a sort of void, an empty space that our minds feel compelled to fill. When engaged in conversation, if one person suddenly falls silent, the other person, in an attempt to fill that void, may expand on their thoughts or reveal more information. This is a psychological phenomenon known as information compulsion. It's our innate desire to share, to communicate, to fill in the blanks. So, if you're ever in a situation where you want to know more but don't want to seem too inquisitive, try staying silent. You may be surprised at how much more the other person reveals simply because you gave them the space to do so. The next time you want to know more, try staying silent and see what happens. Giving something small can often lead to receiving something big in return. This is the essence of the Reciprocity Principle, a fascinating facet of human behavior that plays out in our daily interactions. It's simple, really. When someone does something nice for us, we instinctively want to return the favor. This is not just social etiquette, but a deeply ingrained psychological response. The principle of reciprocity is so powerful, it can influence our decisions and behavior in surprising ways. Imagine this: you're handed a complimentary mint at a restaurant. This small act of kindness triggers a response and you're more likely to leave a larger tip. That's reciprocity in action. But remember, it's not about manipulation. It's about understanding the power of genuine kindness and generosity. The secret lies in the authenticity of your actions. So, next time you're looking to make a positive impression, start with a small act of kindness. Remember, a small act of generosity can have a big impact. Starting small can lead to bigger commitments. Now, we delve into the fascinating foot-in-the-door technique, a psychological trick that has proven its effectiveness time and again. This technique operates on the principle that agreeing to a small request increases the likelihood of agreeing to a larger one later. Imagine this. A friend asks you to water their plants while they're away. It's a small favor, so you agree. A few days later, they ask if you could also feed their pet. Since you've already agreed to the first request, you're more inclined to accept the second, larger one. This is the foot-in-the-door technique in action. In essence, it's about establishing a pattern of compliance. The initial agreement creates a psychological bond, making it more likely for the person to agree to subsequent bigger requests. Whether used in sales, negotiation, or everyday interactions, this technique can be incredibly powerful. So remember, start small and you might just get a foot in the door. Sometimes a big rejection can lead to a smaller acceptance. This is the essence of the door-in-the-face technique. Imagine this. You're asked for a huge favor, something so grand you can't possibly say yes. You decline. Then, a smaller, more manageable request is made. Suddenly it doesn't seem so bad, does it? That's the door-in-the-face technique at work. It's a psychological principle that taps into our natural instinct to compromise. By presenting a large, almost outrageous demand first, the subsequent smaller request appears much more reasonable in comparison. The genius of this technique lies in the contrast. The initial rejection creates a sense of relief when the second, smaller request is made. It's like a breath of fresh air, and more often than not, we're inclined to agree to it. So, the next time you're negotiating or simply trying to persuade someone, consider the door-in-the-face technique. Remember, a big no can sometimes lead to a small yes. So, we've journeyed through the fascinating world of psychology and its tricks. We've delved into the power of names and how they can have a profound impact on our relationships and interactions. Remember, using someone's name in conversation can make them feel valued and acknowledged, enhancing your connection with them. We've also explored the Benjamin Franklin effect, a phenomenon where doing a favor for someone can lead to increased positive feelings towards them. This effect shows us that our actions can shape our attitudes, not just the other way around. Then we turned our attention to the power of silence. We discovered that silence can be a compelling tool in communication, often carrying more weight than words. By mastering the art of silence, we can create anticipation, command respect, and even steer conversations in our favor. We've also discussed the Reciprocity Principle, a social norm that compels us to return favors, gifts, or kindness. This principle can be used to build rapport and foster mutual respect and cooperation. Next, we examined the foot-in-the-door technique, a compliance tactic where a small request is followed by a larger one. By getting someone to agree to a small request first, they are more likely to accede to a larger one later. Lastly, we looked at the door-in-the-face technique, another compliance tactic, but this time involving an initial large request that is turned down, followed by a smaller, more reasonable request. This technique works because people feel guilty for turning down the first request and are more likely to agree to the second one. Understanding these psychological tricks can give you an edge in your daily interactions, whether it's in your personal relationships at work or even in your negotiations. They offer a glimpse into the intricacies of the human mind and how it can be influenced. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use these tricks ethically and thoughtfully. With these psychological tricks up your sleeve, who knows what you can achieve? Until next time, keep exploring the human mind.